Hello there, this is Sanjay Singh, your sales coach. And first of all, let me apologize. Yesterday we missed our LinkedIn Live due to some force majeure issues at my end. But today we are repeating the topic. How do you make good sales traders? And before we start the session, it's important for us to understand that only swimmers can teach swimming, right? So if you're not a swimmer, you cannot teach swimming. It's a performing art, isn't it? So unless you're a salesperson, you cannot become a sales trainer. So I actually want to cast my aspersion on all those sales trainers who have become sales trainers by reading books. Not the right recommended way. You got to be a swimmer if you're teaching swimming. You got to be a hands-on salesperson some point of your time in your life to be to have decided to become a sales trainer. Now, if this is true, then when you decide to convert an existing salesperson or an existing sales manager into a sales trainer, what what is the logic? Because every salesperson or every good salesperson is not necessarily going to become a good sales trainer, whereas every good sales trainer must be a good salesperson. Now, when you choose a good salesperson to become a sales trainer, and if he doesn't happen to be having the elements of becoming a good sales trainer, you end up losing two things. One, you end up losing the opportunity to make a sales trainer. Two, you end up in destroying an existing sales resource. Because once you tell a salesperson that is going to become a sales trainer, and if he fails to become a sales trainer, you are left with neither. Neither do you have a good sales resource now, nor do you have a good sales trainer. So it's a very conscious decision of management to pick and choose who should be the right element to become a sales trainer. Now let's look at sales in two connotations. Sales, the word sales as in verb, and the word sales as in noun. Now, when I say the word sales as in verb, I mean all those actions that together make sales or together make sales as a function, or all those actions by doing which you become a good salesperson. So I'm talking of prospecting, sales pitching, lead generation, proposals, need analysis, objection handling, negotiation, and closure. All these actions taken together are the verbs of sale. Now, sales, the word noun, understanding of the sales funnel, understanding of tofu, top of funnel, mofu, bottom of funnel, bofu, understanding how this entire sales function works is the noun aspect of sales. Now, when I'm talking to an existing sales manager, I'm basically looking at two genres of people. Genre number one are those people who know how to sell. And genre number two are those people who know what is sales. They may not necessarily know how to sell, or they understand how to sell. They may not be excellent in it, but they understand how to sell. But they understand what is sales. So they understand the entire 360-degree view of sales. They understand that without suspecting, you cannot create a sales funnel. They understand the ratios inside the sales funnel. They understand the importance of CRM, that is customer relationship management. They know the statistics around reference selling, cross selling, and upselling. They understand how relationships can be monetized to get more sales, to be able to achieve the lifetime value of a customer, and so on and so forth. Now, if you are talking to someone who just knows how to sell but does not know what is sales, you have made a wrong choice. So please remember, next time you're trying to pick someone to become a potential sales trainer, you must ask yourself, does this person know how sales is done and what is sales? Because if the person knows both, he can become a good sales trainer. If he knows only how to sell, he may not necessarily become a good sales trainer. Now, please understand, friends, that training is a passion. Training is a calling. Not everyone in this world loves to train. Not everyone in this world is competent enough to train. Because training is a passion. It comes from within. The junoon, the passion that you want to explain something to someone in a way that someone is able to improve in his life, in his life cycle, is a passion, isn't it? Because as a trainer, uh, whatever I'm trying to train my followers is going to improve their life. Now, the passion to improve someone else's life by virtue of the knowledge that you have in your own areas of expertise is a passion, my friend. So, before you select someone to be a trainer, you must find out whether that he or she has this passion or not. Now, if you're asking me a question that how do I know whether he has a passion or not, maybe we can take that up in another training program. Now, I can discuss here the symptoms. What are the symptoms of a potential sales trainer? Well, for me, one definite symptom is that hunger to know more about the function of sales. You see, a typical salesperson or a sales manager who is not a trainer material never shows interest in understanding the process of sales. He or she always shows an interest in the next lead, in the next order, in the next commission, the next incentive, but they do not have that inherent desire to understand the entire process. And you try to explain to them something which doesn't directly affect their sales or their targets, they're not interested. This is the first symptom. Those people who show interest in things beyond target, beyond immediate sales, beyond immediate lead, are good sales trainer material. The second symptom of a good sales trainer material is someone who loves to read, to watch, to listen to, who's a regular in all training programs. Basically, the idea of training or the idea of learning and development appeals to the person. This is also a good symptom to look for a trainer in someone. Apart from this, whenever a sales manager is on the field, they come back from the field and analyze their data. They analyze data. They do a regression analysis of past data. They try to arrive at conclusions from what they have learned from the field. Now, this is another symptom of a good potential trainer. All right. And similarly, moving forward, a potential trainer, of course, needs to be good in his communication skills, good in his listening skills, good as a communicator, and good as a leader. Because a trainer needs to first develop the belief before whatever knowledge he or she is trying to impart is induced to the trainee. The belief, the creating that belief in the minds of the followers is also an essential part of the trainer. So I'm sure those symptoms are going to help you in choosing your sales trainer. And at this juncture, if you're trying to ask me that what are the skills of a good sales trainer, well, as I told you, good communication, good presentation, conscious about time, because I have seen a lot of trainers who just go on and on and on, and with no value of their time, they feel that they are doing great. Well, no. So conscious about time available at hand, and that grit, that passion to actually study the implementation aspect of training. Because you could train, you could be very good in talking, you could actually do a great training, but if you do not have the passion to see how your training gets translated onto the field, and are you able to measure, so do you know the metrics to measure the success of your program, that again is a good skill for a trainer. Because you cannot be a trainer to say that I'm a great trainer, but my students are horrible. If you're a great trainer, it must translate into some results. And the metrics which are used to measure result should be your skill. So you must go out of your way to measure those metrics. You must go out of your way to see how you could further elevate those metrics, and that's a great skill of a sales trainer, which means that the 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 sales trainer must continue selling. Because if you are a trainer and if you have slowly stopped going to the field on the pretext that you're training, then somewhere you're doing damage to yourself, isn't it? Because if you don't go to the field, you will not know what is contemporary. You will not know the real emotion on the ground. You will also not know what is the metrics which is applicable as far as implementation is concerned. And surely, if you don't go to the field, you will stop being real. Slowly, you will just become a real trainer, will stop being real. So the sales trainer must continue selling, must continue going to the field. The only difference is when you're a trainer, you are selling for someone. You are selling for a sales manager or an executive that you're trying to train. You do not have vested interest in the incentives that will come out of that sale. You are just selling because A, you want to your own skill of selling not to die down, and B, you want someone to observe you selling so that he or she can learn from you, and C, you want to curate a better training program on the process next time you do it. So the sales trainer must continue selling. And at the end of today's program, what is the KPI of a good sales trainer? What are the key performance indicators of a good sales trainer? Well, the KPI of a good sales trainer is A, his ability to do TNA, which is training and need analysis. So don't just try to dole out standard programs. Work on training and need analysis, and curate programs which are customized for your audience and not a general grammar. So TNA is the first KPI of a good sales trainer. Then delivery or facilitation of the training program is the second KPI of a good sales trainer. And the third KPI of a good sales trainer is the implementation index of the learning outcome in each training program. So if these three KPIs are adhered to for a good sales trainer, I'm sure he will do very good for himself and surely for the company that he's working for. So friends, as we come towards the end of today's LinkedIn Live, a couple of conclusions. The first conclusion was only swimmers can teach swimming. So a big no to all those salespersons or all those sales trainers who have never had any hands-on sales training experience. Then the second summary is a sales trainer should know how to sell and what is sales. So if he only knows how to sell, don't elevate him to be a sales trainer, because in the process you will lose a sales resource and you will not get a sales trainer. Okay, and as part of summary, we are also looking at the importance of the sales trainer must continue selling. He should not be withdrawn from the field, because when he continues to sell, there are a lot of advantages, and for sure he becomes a great sales trainer. Towards the end, the KPI of a good sales trainer is ability, or the TNA, the training and need analysis that he does before the program, the facilitation that he does during the program, and the implementation index that he does after the program. So if these three things are there too, he sticks to a great KPI. And that's what is the making of a good sales trainer. So friends, all those of you out there who are CEOs, founders, co-founders of small and medium enterprises and who are struggling with the idea that it's so expensive to hire an external sales trainer, and you are unable to find an internal sales trainer, I'm sure this video will help you. External sales trainers come with a particular objective, and it is very important to develop internal sales trainers so that the continuity of sales training is maintained in the organization. For sure, you cannot afford to get in an external sales trainer every time. So a right mix, a good combination of an external sales trainer and an internal sales trainer is the right medicine for a great and healthy sales team. So on that note, this is Sanjay Singh, your sales coach, signing off with a very strong belief that there is no profession in this world other than sales which can get you name, fame, and money at the speed that you would love to. सेल्स सीख लोगे, बेचना सीख लोगे तो जिंदगी बन जाएगी. थैंक यू वेरी मच.